Hey guys, are you someone who want to become a data analyst? Then my friend, this video is going to be super important because in this video I'm talking about my experience that why it is so important, so fundamental to have a great communication skill, to have a great soft skill if you want to become a data analyst. And if you want to get promotion, if you want to grow as a data analyst, why it is so important. So first of all, you have to understand the roles and responsibility as a data analyst, what exactly you have to perform, what exactly you have to do in the team. So number one, communication. Okay, communication with a multiple stakeholder. It can be non-IT, it can be IT. For example, let me give an example. Let's suppose you are a data analyst, okay, and you're working in a team and you are creating the report, you're creating the analysis for the marketing or sales team. Okay, so there are a lot of people who are working in marketing and sales. And these people who are in the marketing sales, these people are non-technical, completely non-technical. They have no any idea about tools, framework, or data, but they want to get the insight, right? So you are the only person as a data analyst who know the technical, who know the data. Okay, so as a data analyst people, you have to present your all the idea, all the data, all the report with this stakeholder. So you have to communicate with this stakeholder and you have to explain it very nice way, because you know the technology, right? So these people who come from marketing sales, they have no idea. So that is why it is so important as a data analyst to have a great presentation skill, because most of the time you are always in the presentation mode. You have to represent your data to these people, and that is why it's become very important to have a great communication skill. This is number one. Number two, mostly if you're working in data science project, in data analyst, you will work with multiple team, multiple functional team. It can be data scientists, it can be data engineers, it can be it can be software developers. Okay, so your role is what to communicate with all the people, because in a data science project it's a very complex project. So there are a lot of vertical, lot of teams are working at the same time. For example, let's suppose, give an example. Let's suppose you are building, you're doing some analysis with the data. You have some data, right? And this data will go into some model, some machine learning model. So you have to talk to data scientist people, hey, what kind of data you want, in what format you want, because this data is going to fit into model. Let's suppose you're working with the data engineers. Okay, so you have to go to data engineers to talk them, hey, I want the data in this format, this way, because data engineers are responsible for getting data pipeline. Maybe you have to go to the software developer. You have to understand what data exactly you want. You can see that. So in this role, it's a cross-functional team. It's working with a cross-functional team. So you have to talk to every people. You have to understand the requirement, what they exactly want and what you have to deliver. So that is why your interpersonal skill, your communication skill, your how you present your idea, this becomes very, very super important. This is number two. And number three, which is very important, mostly data analyst people, it's a client facing role mostly. Okay, and if you're working in MNC, big company, then your client can be some MNC company. It can be from US, it can be from UK, it can be from Australia, it can be from any across the world, it can be from anywhere. Okay, so as a data analyst, you have to interact with the client, you have to interact with the maybe your business analyst people, and you have to understand the requirement, you have to understand the product. Okay, for example, you are communicating with the business analyst, product owner, so they have the fair idea, they have a good amount of idea about the product, they know the product. So you have to understand the requirement, what exactly your client is expecting from you, what exactly a business analyst people is expecting from you, and what you have to deliver, right? So here your communication skill again becomes very important, very super important. And this is very important to understand different people. Okay, so this is why it is important. And number four, last but not the least, is very important, is what your analytic skill, because here in the data you are performing, you are playing with the data. It's a very complex data, it's not a very simple data. Data can be from maybe it can from maybe file, maybe from flat file, it can come from database server, it can come from application, it can come from API. There are multiple sources of data which you are consuming. Okay, so it is very important, because and this data is very complex. You have to find the relationship with the data, you have to cleaning, there are a lot of operation you have to perform on the data, and it's a very complex job, by the way. So for that, your brain, your analytic skill is very important because it's a data analyst profile. So your analytical skill becomes very important to understand the relationship, to understand the data, find the pattern in the data, and how your one change, one imputation is going to impact the whole data set. So it's a very complex job, and your analytical skill becomes very important. Okay, so that is, my friend, if you're planning to become a data analyst, you're planning for some interview, something like that, and if you want to become a data analyst in future, it's a great career, by the way. But for if you really want to sustain, if you really want to grow in this career, apart from your technical skill, whatever learning, you might be learning SQL, Power BI, Excel, whatever. Okay, apart from technical, it is super important to have a great presentation skill, great communication skill, great analytics skill, and this will help you in future to grow, to go to the next level. So my friend, if you want more help about it, how to become data analyst, how to develop this kind of personality, this kind of mindset, this kind of skill set, reach out to us. We will definitely help you.